No one's forcing you to be here.
Okay. Sorry, what was the question?
Hey, the question, Brian, what do you think is the connection? Because I'm not saying it's all demonic. What's the connection between mental illness and demonic?
Great question.
Dennis, leave. Get out of here.
No.
Leave. You can't say.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey, Brian.
That's great.
Brian,
That's great.
thank you so much, man. I hope we get to talk again soon.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy, but please answer that question because that was on my list too.
Okay, deal.
All right, I'll check it soon. Peace, guys.
Later, Dennis.
Okay,
because obviously you just said some people that go into this stuff end up becoming schizo.
Oh, yeah.
And even the Mason guy, right? He ended up becoming schizo. I've thought for years that the reason we don't see it, dude, in the Bible, it sounds like there was freaking demon-possessed people everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
In the church, specifically.
And Christ encounters it constantly. The apostles encounter it constantly. And then all of a sudden in our day and age, it's like it's nowhere. Yeah. But the freaking homeless shelters, the mental institutions, they're packed. They're packed with things that sound like what the Bible used to describe as demon possession.
Yep.
You know? So what do you think is the connection between? I don't think it's all, I can't say it's all demonic possession or demonically related. Because dude, maybe some people are just like, I don't know, brains are imbalanced. You know what I mean? But what do you think?
Yeah, it's 100% demonic. And if it's not demonic, let me explain it to you real quick so you understand it. Like a demon can get into somebody's mind and then so like schizophrenia doesn't make you crazy. Okay? Schizophrenia doesn't make you crazy. It's literally hearing the voices doesn't make you crazy. It's literally the denying of it that makes you crazy.
Like you drive yourself crazy and by denying it.
That's what happens. Like it's the denial of it that makes you crazy. It's the not understanding it that makes you crazy. It's the rejection of everyone else that makes you crazy. It doesn't make you crazy. You can hear voices fine. In fact, schizophrenia in other countries is actually praised because in other countries they'll be like, "Oh, you hear our ancestors," and then like they get and you become the shaman of the village because you're one of the ancestor people. Okay, here today, if you have a gift of discernment of spirits, guess what? Here's some demonic pills. Oh, sorry, they maybe have fetal tissue from sacrificed babies, but it doesn't matter. Just take these pills and suffice the demons and shut up. I mean, take the medicine and it will calm down your nerves and you'll be fine. No, you're giving demonic fetal worship, demonic pills. These pills are wicked things that are in these drugs, how they're discovered and how they synthesize these drugs from stuff. When you look into it, it's very disturbing. And these drugs are payments for the demons to like numb them out, to shut them up, to like give them something that they want so they leave the person alone. That's literally what's happening in a lot of these cases. So yeah.
So the medication is not necessarily combating, but the medication's kind of like quelling the demon himself.
It's giving the demons what they want. It's giving them some element of human sacrifice or some element of desire, or giving them a sanctification or a cut off of the person's soul. Like it's something in the spiritual realm that they're doing with that. And so like the thing is, like, here's an example. Like, so I had Tourette syndrome, right? So like the Tourette syndrome growing up was so bad.
That's a good example.
It was so bad, but yet still I have a little remnant of it. Now the demonic spirit that was affecting me as a child, like was in my head, rewiring parts of my brain, like messing with my brain to some degree to where I would have like reactionary uncontrollable bodily movements and like noises that will come out of my mouth that I just couldn't stop. And so, but eventually that demonic spirit left. But it's already rewired some of the parts of my brain. It already made some other connective tissue.
He already like screwed up some of the wires in your hardware.
Exactly. So the demon's gone. Now I need healing, right? But the Lord hasn't given me the healing fully for it, and I, to some degree, it keeps me humble, and I'm fine with it. I don't really care because, like in the same sense, God didn't heal Paul, right? Going around and healing people like he had a thorn in his flesh or whatever. Right. It's like, I don't really care, like maybe it would, maybe if I didn't have this, it would keep me, I wouldn't be as humble as I am and wouldn't have sympathy for the people when I pray for them, because like, I'd be like, well, I'm perfect. Why aren't you perfect? Like, who knows? Like God let that little thing, it's a little nuance of something that reminds me of humanity, of myself, that this was an imperfect world. Right. And so, but like, it's a rewiring of my brain. Right. So there's a demon that was causing the problem. The demon's gone. But now he's already caused the damage. Like, so it's like if you trip, like maybe the demon causes you to trip and fall and you break your arm going down some stairs because the demon like seized your leg right at the last minute and you fall, right? Okay. Does that mean that you break your arm going down the stairs? Does that mean that the broken arm is a demon? No, that's healing, right? It may have been caused by something demonic, but it's healing that needs to happen. So in the same case of the demonic spirit inside your mind, the demons are talking to you. And like what ends up happening is the person's getting told, no, that's not true. No, that's not real. And then they start being like they start hearing things about other people. Like the demons will say, hey, this about this person. And then it will happen. Right. And then the person that has schizophrenia is like, why am I seeing or hearing things, knowing before they're happening? And they start to get like a lot of schizophrenic people are highly prophetic, and they like know stuff before it happens. You can talk to anybody that works at a mental institution. They'll tell you like there's some like weird stuff that schizophrenic people have. They like know things before it happens because they're listening to demons. And like that's one of the finicky characteristics of a demon is like they make things happen, or they preemptively know when stuff's going to happen. They know things that are called to in your life somehow. They know they have a little bit of access to the books of your life that the Lord has somehow. They have a little bit of visual control there. And so like the schizophrenic people, they end up having like prophetic waves, and they don't know how to process the difference between the prophetic things that are happening and their perspective of what they think reality is starts getting thrown out the window, and they can't even make sense of whether they're in a dream, in reality. Is this is this actually happening? Nobody told me what prophecy was. Nobody told me that this is, but like there's a very clear study. They like introduce the Bible to people that have supposed hear voices in their things. In other countries, I think it was in Africa, they did some study about this. The minute the Bible was introduced, the demon, the ancestor spirits went dark. They went evil. They weren't evil before. They're like, worship us, be our friend. They introduce them to the Bible and they go immediately evil. And then it's like, oh, dang, isn't that fascinating?
So it's almost as if in that example, the demon's goal was just to distract from the truth, truth, from Christ, right? As long as we don't care if you know, the demons per se are saying, we don't care if you know that we're evil, okay, or what we really are. As long as you don't know what Jesus really is,
basically,
we're good. We're your friend.
Exactly.
We're cool. Yeah. We'll be happy and nice to you and whatever, right? But the second you know about Jesus, we need to go harder. We need to get evil and dark, and you know what I mean? Then they go off. So you think that all mental illness is demonic?
Honestly, I would go as far as to say like all of it. Yeah. I would go as far as to say all of it. And the thing is, dang, like, I mean, like I went and prayed for a schizophrenic dude in the beginning too. And this was just crazy. Like the demon, like straight up, I went into his house and he had Christian crosses all over his wall because he knew there was something demonic about it. They called me in to pray for him. I go in and I'm just like, hey, what's up, man? And then like, he's like, hey. And he's like, and it just switches. He's like, so you think you're going to get me out? And I was like, well, like, I don't know, man. He's like, oh, you're going to use Jesus to get me out, huh? And I'm like, well, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just brought over here to pray for you, bro. And he's like, look around you, fool. He's like, your Jesus is dead. We killed him. Why do you think we put the crosses up? And there's all these Jesus crosses in his house. And I'm like, that's a good point. Like, I was like, okay, interesting. He's like, no, you're not going to get me out. He's like, he wants me to stay. He wants me here. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, he's like, I am his friend. Is what the demon starts telling me this stuff, right? Through the schizophrenic dude. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, at a certain point, this is the beginning, I didn't know how to handle the demon because I was like ignorant of what my authority was or what the reactions are. But yeah, like they know what they enjoy being in certain people, and people will make agreements with them. It's sad because a lot of schizophrenic people are actually kind of good in their heart because they don't want to, I don't know how you say it, like they fight it and then they become schizophrenic. And so it's like they have something in their heart that is like more pure or more wanting to lean towards truth and love. And it's like, but if there's a schizophrenic person that doesn't care about that, you wouldn't even know they were schizophrenic because they would just straight go evil. Like they just straight go super evil. And I believe there's a lot of these people that are in elite positions of our country and of our government. Oh wow. And you wouldn't know that they were schizophrenic because they're talking to the demons. The demons aren't tormenting them, right? The demons are just like befriending them. And so like people that have schizophrenia that literally you'll never know, they're fine and they're evil. Like they're straight, they've already made an agreement. Like they've already said, wow. Hey, okay, cool. The ones that are in the hospitals are usually the people that are trying to fight the evil. They're trying to fight it. But all schizophrenic,
and that drives them crazy.
Yes, that's exactly why they become crazy.
That's interesting because like I said earlier, when I asked the question about like the telepathy, if it's, for lack of a better word, that kind of sounds like what you were describing. That same dude that we had on, his name was Trey. I forget what episode number it was, but he was heavily involved in like psychedelics for a long part of his life. And he realized at a certain point that, hey, this is something spiritual happening. You know what I mean? Entities that I'm encountering are real. Other people are telling me about the same stuff they're encountering. We're talking telekinetically or whatever it is, telepathically. You know what I mean? And he even said at a certain point, I didn't know if I was having like a mental breakdown or if this was even real or if I'm losing my mind and going schizophrenic. You know what I mean? So even the way he encountered that realm was chemically, right? Was through these substances. And unfortunately, the schizophrenic people who also lose sight of reality and can't tell what's real and not, they don't even have to like take the drugs. No. You know what I mean? For them, it's just a pure, like, spiritual encounter, but it has the same effect, you know, where it makes them like snap or lose sense of what's real and what's not.
If you don't take control of the demonic spirits, then you don't understand the authority that the Lord has given you over this realm. Like, bro, they would drive people nuts. I just like, dude, I can hear it in people. Like, bro, I heard it doing stuff to people, and I've heard the demons tell me what they do to people. Bro, demons have like given me a lot. Like, they've told me a lot of things they probably wouldn't have wanted to take back telling me, because it's armed me with ways to set people free. So like at the same place, like it's like, dude, they straight tell on themselves. They confess things. They like, bro, they're like, you know, there's a variety of evil in demons. I'll tell you that much. There's a variety, just like there is in humans. There's a variety of like how evil these beings are. Some of them literally hope that they'll be forgiven. Like, it's kind of sad.
Really?
I kind of felt bad for him at first for a while, but now I'm just like, whatever. Like it's really interesting. They hope that they're like not gonna be judged as harshly somehow, and like I don't even know. Like, it's pretty strange. And so like but yeah, there's a variety of them, but they're taking advantage of people. The really gnarly ones they attack the people that can hear them the most. So usually the ones that are schizophrenic, people that deal with schizophrenic, you're dealing with some really gnarly ones. Like,
dude, there's a really good do you know who Owen Benjamin is?
I don't, but is he the guy that studies schizophrenia in the police in the prisons?
No, he used to be a comedian, okay? But now he's just like a podcaster. Okay, Owen Benjamin, okay? He interviewed, I think, the guy you just described.
Yes.
This guy that used to work in prisons and psych hospitals and was not a Christian. I don't know if he is. And he describes how at a certain point,
characteristics of him.
Dude, at a certain point, he started realizing that there's patterns.
Yes.
And he's a doctor, right? And all his doctor friends and stuff were like, do not talk to the schizophrenics. Do not ask them questions. All you need to do is sedate them, give them their medication, and send them off. And this guy was like, no, I'm more curious than that. So he starts asking them. I'll link it in this video,
please,
okay? Because it's such a good interview, man.
I heard about this guy. I want to know him.
Bro, I'll link it. So then you'll pull it up after. But the guy starts realizing patterns, okay? And he's like, dude, there's no way that this can just be random, you know what I mean, and existing in everybody's mind when there's these clear patterns happening. And then he starts having encounters with people that manifest some other voices, things in his room start happening, and he's like, oh my God, this is what schizophrenia is. It's something darker, evil. Again, I don't know if he's Christian. I don't know if he says demonic, but Owen Benjamin's like Christian to some degree, you know? And he's like, it's demonic. And he's like, yeah, it sounds like it would be demonic, you know? So that was a really, really cool, that even as a Christian, hearing them talk about it, because this guy's like data driven. He's a physician. You know what I mean? And hearing his experiences with access to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of schizophrenics, who's got that? Who's got that kind of data?
He's got like down to like 27 patterns that he's recognized in the demons, possessed people that I've heard about, or something like that. I forget, 20 something. And dude, that dude is straight. He's trying to map out how the demons behave, and they do seem to have patterns. They do definitely have like patterns. They have doorways that they get access to people.
Yeah.
They're it's very different. They are like people, but they totally do mimic things. And there's a way that they will obey you. There's a way that they obey you too. So like in the authority of Christ.
It's so fascinating.